Oh, hey there. I know I was looking at the camera, but it was a really awesome segue. Welcome to Comic Conversation. I'm one of your hosts, W. James, along with Ashley.
Hello, what's going on?
And John.
Hey, everybody.
We've been trapped in the studio
Yeah, we have been here forever.
all Christmas break.
You're not allowed to
Help us.
leave till we finish shooting all these videos.
Yeah.
So
We're
let's
very
get
scared. Send
Please
help.
help us. Send help.
Please.
Today we're going to be talking about our favorite comic book storylines. I'm going to go first. Detective Comics in DC Rebirth has been wonderful. It's been fantastic. The storyline was that a bunch of, like the game Batman Arkham Knight? You know that? It's kind of like an army Batman running around. Well, a bunch of army Batmans running around, and Batman's got to create his own team to stop it. So it's Batwoman, Clayface, Spoiler, Cassandra Cain, and Red Robin. And they're running around, and it's always a recycling cast, especially after the events of the first arc, which was the Rise of the Batman. And now they're going into the Criminal Syndicate, which is a bunch of collateral damage turned villains. They're like, hey, we hate you, Batman, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have these powers. We wouldn't have been these kinds of things. So Detective Comics Rebirth is going to be my story. And granted, I've read a lot of comic books, so I have a lot of favorite storylines. But if there's something I can recommend to you now, it's that.
Now, real quick before we go on, I'm not too big on Detective Comics Rebirth right now. Is Clayface now a good guy?
Clayface, yeah, he's
now a good
reformed.
guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's like, they introduced a concept where his mind melds with his like clay form. So the longer he's in this clay form, the less he loses, the more he loses his humanity.
Huh.
So he's always got to try to keep that in check.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to read that comic.
Yeah. What about you, Ashley?
So my favorite is actually the Uncanny X-Men, which you can kind of say has a lot of the X-Men origins, as in X-Men members, their origin stories are kind of in there. It started off first as just the X-Men, then recently got changed to the X-Men origins around 1963. It's a super awesome storyline. It has all your favorite characters in it, but it's most notably known for being a big part of inspiration for the newest movie of the X-Men Apocalypse that came out. They derived a lot from the storyline, and plus they have, I think, my favorite Storm, which is Mohawk Storm, which is Storm at her absolute prime, because unfortunately I don't think the X-Men movies kind of show Storm as powerful. I think X-Men Apocalypse kind of has the kind of, a little bit more accuracy in her origin story, because I just think that she's just so awesome, especially because they got her from Egypt. I think that's super cool, because that's exactly where she came from when she was forced to move there with her parents, and that's where she got a lot of her powers from, and they saw her as a goddess. And I think they kind of like segue that in there pretty well. Also, just Mohawk Storm is so awesome. Like, come on, a Mohawk?
Can't beat a
Storm.
Mohawk.
Go on.
Can't beat the Mohawk.
You can't.
Beat it. And plus, I also love how they put Psylocke in X-Men Apocalypse, just because not a lot of people know about her. I thought that was funny, because I think she's pretty awesome.
Talk about underrated characters.
Yeah, she's definitely an
Yeah,
underrated
right.
character.
She's an
Yeah.
underrated
Sorry.
character. So, go ahead,
John?
John.
Bring it
Personally,
home.
my favorite story is Kingdom Come, which was made, I can't remember exactly how long ago, but it's no continuity thing. It's completely a one-off story, so it's all very self-contained. What happens is it's set in the future lives, so all of our heroes are old now. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, all very old. And they've all had kids, and basically all of the original heroes are kind of retired. And what happened was they raised their new generation heroes, and they stepped back to let these guys do it. But the new generation of heroes is extremely violent and dark, and they kind of use intense methods. And the old heroes don't really like that so much. So they have to come back in and stop these new heroes from being too violent, and kind of the heroes sort of become the villains a little bit. And also there's a lot of stuff going on with Lex Luthor, because he's always doing some stuff. So there's a lot of scheming going on. So there's really three main factions, and they're all kind of fighting each other. It's a great story, and it also seems pretty relevant today, because when we look at the new DC movies, people are constantly complaining about how they're dark and gritty, and Superman isn't this happy guy. And Kingdom Come is kind of that entire story, how the old heroes were happy and nice, and the new heroes really aren't anymore, and they're kind of conflicting that.
If we're talking about Elseworld stories, Superman Red Sun is also really, really good.
Yeah.
Where Superman lands in the Ukraine instead of Kansas, and he becomes like a Soviet Union-like figurehead, and he has to end up like kind of.
Yeah, basically it's a Russian Superman
Yeah.
story, and it's what happens if he lands there during the Cold War. Personally, I love all the Elseworld stories. To me, though, I think Kingdom Come is the best, also because drawn by Alex Ross, and really it's almost distracting, where every page is just like a piece of art.
It's like a painting.
if I took any random page from that book and you hung it on my wall as a portrait, I would love that forever.
We're going to do that.
We're gonna do that.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
We're going to
Christmas
just break
gift.
into your apartment.
Yeah, and we're gonna just hang it up there. What's your favorite comic book storyline? Let us know in the comments down below. That's Ashley, that's John, this is me, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas break. Season's greetings to you all, and I will see you soon.
Have a happy new year.
some other Christmas greeting.